is a springtime ring to have a friend right in your corner. Your heart will feel a little warmer. Tender loving care, tender loving care. Each warm and friendly touch lets someone know you care so much. Tender loving care, tender loving care.
Hi, and welcome back to another edition of Tender Loving Care. I am Sarah Golden, guest host for Dr. Greenbrier Almond, who is away this week. I'm an artist. I am local. I grew up in French Creek, West Virginia, and I've been selling my art around different parts of this area. I do all kinds of abstract art and sometimes representational. And one thing I do is I do these cards where I have something on the front of the card that I have worked on, which represents a word a day from the series that I'm doing, The Stream of Collective Consciousness. And I used every day last year, 2016, I wrote a word down on the calendar. And of those words, I've done 175 pieces so far and have written on the insides of these cards, 60 of them. So right now I'm going to share this one with you. The word for this one is resume. And I'll go ahead and read that to you right now. There are pauses, stops, idling moments that turn into hours, days, or even the rest of your life. You are aware that many events and their twins, the decisions, have diverted your path. There is a powerful incentive for you to break through these obstacles, for you are holding back the dam that allows you to be your best self. Are you waiting for a just cause? How long do you expect the world to hold their breath awaiting your arrival? Perhaps you fear it is too late for your resolution. Really? Now may be the time for you to resume your intended journey, make a peaceful resolution, and be strong in the current. Only you know your dreams. Make them your life, your path. So again, I encourage people to find what they're supposed to be doing with their life and follow their dreams. What we're going to do next is we're going to go about the Upshur County Public Library and see some different areas that you may not even know are here. It's a wonderful place. Here we are downstairs at the Upshur County Public Library, and we have a wonderful welcoming staff. First, I want to introduce you to the Assistant Director, Paul Norco.
Hi.
Tell us about the library a little bit here, Paul. Who do you have working with you?
That's not the library. Anyway, we have Karen Heater. Most of you probably know her if you've ever been in the library in the past 30 years. She's our longest tenured employee. She's one of the circulation supervisors and also the other cataloger along with me.
Very big responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do you have?
We have Brandon Trowick and also Sarah Lee. They're both circulation assistants, so they work the circ desk and help people with various questions.
Right. So when someone comes into the library, I'm sure you're going to find one or many of these beautiful people here to help you.
Mm-hmm. We do have a couple others that are not present today, but you'll see them if you come in. There's Becky Kreitz, and then there's Wendy Miller.
Okay. Well, very good. Let's take a little look around here in a second. Here in the library, we have this wonderful section that is one of my favorites. It's the periodicals section would be one way of describing it. What do you have in this area?
Well, it's not just periodicals, because we also have new books, both fiction and nonfiction, as well as large print new books.
All right.
We also have a comfy seating area. People are welcome to come in, pull a book off the shelf, sit down and read.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the lighting there is perfect, and it is very comfortable.
And then we also have at least 70 different periodicals in the library. We've actually just purchased about 12 new magazines.
Really?
And then we also have some newspapers that we get daily, as well as some that are like the weekend edition only.
I see.
But we have both local and national newspapers.
Wonderful.
Like the New York Times and USA Today.
I was going to say, do you carry USA Today? That's an interesting one to be able to have available for everyone, as well as the Times. In our other section right here, this is a public access computer section. What can you tell me about all of this?
So patrons can come in and browse the internet, check email, print off of their computers or off of their smartphone using our Wi-Fi. We have free Wi-Fi. That's just a matter of connecting to our network.
If someone is having trouble with, say, some sort of a device here, is there some place or someone that they
Talk
can
to one of the tech tutors, which is usually me, but one of the other Circ staff that we've introduced can also help you. We mostly focus on ebooks and e-audiobooks, but we can also help you with, say, like setting up a TomTom or GPS device or MP3 player or something like that. That's not your usual like electronic device, but we're willing to give it a try. If we can't get it to work after a bit, we'll say no, we can't help you, but we'll at least try.
Right now we have people that come in all the time and sign up. Is there a limit as to what time?
No, we actually don't have a limit on our computer use. Some libraries do limit it to like 3 hours a day, but we aren't as busy as some of the other libraries for computer use, so we haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We do also have 4 AWE computers, which are early literacy, early learning stations for younger kids.
That's over in the children's section over there.
They're filled with educational games that teach skills that they need to know. Hello, and welcome to our reference section. This section of the library contains books that are used for research purposes mostly. We also have a vertical file filled with pamphlets and newspaper clippings and other not quite book sort of paraphernalia that contains information about West Virginia, the local area, that sort of thing for research purposes. And also our oversized collection, which are just books that are too big to fit on the shelf. Now as we come over further into the library, we get into the West Virginia section, which contains books on or about West Virginia. Some of them are referenced, which means they can't go out of the library, but for the most part they are also available to check out, that is. Also, you may be able to see this display case, which people can, if they have a collection of interesting items that they'd like to display somewhere, we can put the items into this display and have them sit there for a bit so people can see this collection. So it's just another thing that we offer at the library. You just have to talk to one of the directors, either myself or Ralph. Behind me, we have the adult nonfiction area, the adult paperback area, which is behind, you can't really see it from here, but it's behind those shelves. We have the large prints, DVDs, and audiobooks. The adult nonfiction books can be taken out of the library. You get 28 days with all of them. You can get as many as you want, as you think you can read, and return in the time that you have out. We do want our books back. Large prints the same way. DVDs you can get for 1 week. You get up to 5 if you're not a new patron. You only are limited to 3 if you're a new patron. And then audiobooks you can get. I don't think there's a limit on those. Okay, so behind me on the other side of the ramp from adult nonfiction and the other sections we just covered, we have adult fiction, which is in the shelves in the back. It works just the same way as adult nonfiction. You get as many books as you think you can physically read in 28 days, and just bring them back. So here we have our young adult section. It actually will be moving hopefully fairly shortly as soon as we prepare a new area, which is up the ramp and before the offices and the bathrooms. But the young adult section is for teenagers and those of a sufficiently advanced reading level, the kids. Again, it contains audiobooks, just like the regular section. We have some teen-specific audiobooks. It also contains graphic novels, a few manga, which are really popular, and then books suitable for teenagers, both fiction and nonfiction.
Well, this section right here may look a little empty, but the plans for it are big. There's going to be the young adult section moved up here, and it provides many wonderful places to hang out. If I were a teenager, I know what I would do. I would just kind of make myself at home and read and be so happy to hang with my friends. Okay, here we have the director of the library who is going to explain this wonderful area here. His name is Ralph Oppenheim, and he's been director here since November of last year. What do you have to say about this area, Ralph?
This is where it all happens. Now, this is our meeting room, and it's the site of our weekly story hours. Also, the community is welcome to use this for any meetings that they may want. We do programs here, and you'll notice we even have a popcorn machine. So we serve popcorn at special events.
What does someone have to do to reserve this room?
They can call, or in the future they'll be able to download a meeting room application.
So really anyone who has a need for this kind of space can just contact you and have access to it.
Yeah, there aren't that many places where groups can meet, and this is one that's easily affordable since it's free, and it's pretty good. Any kind of configuration will set up the tables any way they want. So I urge members of the public who need a place to think of the library.
One thing I've noticed about the library is that it is very accommodating to the public's needs. If they have a need, Ralph and Paul will help you try to fill that need.
Hi, I thought I'd introduce you to one of our special employees. This is Connie. Connie is coming back after a 14-year absence to take the place that she held 14 years ago. So that's kind of special.
It feels good to be back.
Oh, Connie is our business manager. And what a business manager she is. She manages our business. This is one of the children's nooks in the children's area of the library. There's a child. See that? Enjoying himself.
Right, we have toys down here in the library in the main section here. This is wonderful. What's your favorite thing to do here?
Guess what color my favorite is?
Purple.
Red.
No.
Yellow?
Blue?
Tell us, please.
Blue?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Blue, awesome.
And green and red.
Fantastic. Over here we also have the children's computers that we were talking about before with Paul. They have special programs that are geared toward children, so it's a wonderful learning tool.
Try with this big gorilla.
Oh my goodness, you're very strong, aren't you? You pick that gorilla up like nothing.
That's a gorilla.
Next, we'll take you to the toy library, which is a special sort of place. It's currently under development. We hope to open it soon.
My sister
It will be
and
one
my
of the
mom
only
is
toy
over
libraries in the state. And without further ado, let's prepare
go.
to the toy
Let's go.
library. Hi, this is the toy room, and we're all pretty excited about it. You can see that we've already acquired quite a few toys. This black garbage bag was here when we came in the morning. It's like a lot of most of the material we receive here is donated by members of the community. Awesome. And fire truck and another truck, and this is how we're going to build this facility. Over there is going to be a closet pole, where we'll be able to put costumes. We're hoping that people will donate their children's costumes after Halloween this year, given that they'll probably have outgrown them by this time next year. We can take them and let other children use them next Halloween or during any time of the year, since kids like to dress up. The fact is, child's brain is pretty much developed 90% by the time they're 3 years old. And one of the ways children learn is through play. Play is children's work, so to speak. So play is just not an inadvertent byproduct. It is part and parcel of a child's development. So it's important that children play. And we will provide the tools for that. Well, there are a lot of kids who don't have, whose parents don't have the means to provide them with toys, so except perhaps one time a year. This way, all year round, there will be toys available to them to be checked out on a regular library card. So
that's wonderful. And can the children play in this room as well? Is this what this room is for as well? Ideally, this room is going to be so crammed with toys that children will have to take the toys, check them out, and play with them elsewhere. That's wonderful, actually. I see that you brought down the most recent edition. One of them was the microscope that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the interesting thing is they bragged on their box that there are 52 pieces. Well, that means that our staff is going to have to identify every one of those pieces and mark them and organize them. And it's a complex procedure. But every item here will be identified and go into the catalog.
Interesting. So even, are you saying that set of blocks up there, if some child were to check out the blocks, you have a number of blocks that are expected to come back?
I'm afraid would be the case.
Might be the case,
yes.
And it would be certainly understandable if maybe one doesn't make it back in.
Right. The rules concerning borrowing toys are still being worked out.
Right.
But we will be, if not lenient, then very reasonable.
Very understanding.
And
very
understanding,
patient.
yes. Absolutely. There it is. We'll be collecting games, puzzles, sporting goods, so kids can check out a ball and a bat and a glove. And we will be trying to emphasize educational toys. And it will really take a child from birth up through into adolescence.
Wonderful. I even noticed you have a tricycle right behind you, Ralph.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a tricycle. So There's really quite a wide range of wonderful toys.
Yeah, this is a walker for little.
Right, that's one of the
babies.
first toys that a baby needs. That helps him be able to navigate around.
We shall see, and the community has been very generous. Just about everything here has been donated.
Wonderful.
I can't wait to see what else is in this bag.
Okay, so the tour of our library, we're going to conclude with this wonderful area that is located under the stairs of the Upshur County Public Library. And what it is a reading nook. It has these little steps that come down, a sunken area, and some pillows that you can recline and just have a ball here reading. You could bring, 10, 12 kids here and have a nice quiet area where you're not going to disturb any of the other patrons as they're in the other section of the library. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and share some of my art with you again. I have done this series called The Stream of Collective Consciousness, and I'm sharing some of the work that I've done. This particular one is a card that I wrote, and the theme of this one is forgive. And I will show you what's on the inside here. I'll read it to you. You have discovered your will is strong and you attempt to be staying on the path. Yet others you have met along the way have tripped you, throwing daggers of judgment and acts of intentional sadistic insult. It seems only natural to you to accept this pain and to allow resentment to grow and change you. You have become the cobwebs clinging to the underbrush while this does not impact those who have hurt you. It is time for you to catch a vine and pull with all your might to free yourself from the burden and forgive. You will learn to embrace each sunrise and kiss the sunset, living wholly and growing more each day. You realize and accept your imperfections and others. Do not rot, just love. One thing that I like about this message is that it has an idea of stop being a victim and start being a survivor. Stop hurting yourself by having all of this pent up emotion, and just forgive and go on, because you're not hurting anyone but yourself. The next one I have is contact. This involves getting back in touch with people, and I'll read it to you now. There have been so many friends throughout your life. Sometimes you find a kindred spirit able to share all your secrets, viewing the world as if you share the same eyes. Often you laugh at jokes only you can understand. Often you have the same thoughts at the same time. Life does not have a way of becoming too busy and it becomes a habit, or life does have a way of becoming too busy and it becomes a habit to stay to yourself. We all need time alone to reflect and grow. What would you do if suddenly you had no way to stay in touch? Your heart is heavy. You imagine how lost you would be. Do not let life become so busy that you lose your friend. To feel at peace and to ease each other's burdens, do not procrastinate. Contact them and stay connected. Our lives are so full, yet so fast. I can only imagine how many people have gone through life and have lost their friends just because they didn't take the time to call them occasionally, or even these days you can Facebook people. Just a little message would really brighten their day, I'm sure. Here we are at the Upshur County Public Library, and this section is the periodical section, which has wonderful comfy chairs and couches. So I'm going to finish reading to you from some of my art. This one is titled Continue, and I'll just read the inside and you'll get the idea of what we're talking about here. You have intuition and have dreamed many paths to your future self. Surely you have chosen wisely to allow some of your desires to gather its debris and be abandoned. Yet, you do also possess worthy intentions and talents that are just under the surface, waiting patiently for you to uncover. How can you find peace in your life force without finishing your calling? It is time for you to continue what you know must be finished, even in the belief you have of introducing chaos into your flow of energy. Instead of a diversion from your path, you may find tremendous untapped satisfaction that propels you forward with greater ease on your journey. Sometimes people do put off continuing a project that they need to finish, and I really urge you to find whatever you need to finish and go forth with it, because it will make you feel so much better. The last card I have today is Return. You have traveled far from the start of your path of origin. There is no way that you could have foreseen where you find yourself today. Many obstacles have been blocking the flow of the path you are intended to follow. Have you recalled the challenges of your life from which you have reigned victorious and of which you have faltered? There are uncovered realizations awaiting you upon your return. If it is physically inconceivable for you to arrive, you should travel in spirit to the place you started. Memories will reappear in the shadows from your mind, sometimes bringing you comfort, other times creating a puzzle which has not yet been solved. You may find an old friend who needs to connect with you through their own path to be wisely traveled. Become the gliding boomerang for fulfillment. Well, it certainly has been wonderful visiting the library here today. We have met a few wonderful friends and have had a wonderful tour. It's a great place to come visit. I encourage you to come see what the Upshur County Public Library has to offer for you.
Stories of a West Virginia Doctor, written by Dr. Harold D. Allman. A collection of 55 short stories about his experience as a small-town doctor in central West Virginia. And Tender Loving Care. Stories from a West Virginia Doctor, Volume 2, written by Dr. Greenbrier Allman, using videotapes to write 70 additional stories of his father's very colorful life as a small-town doctor. They can be found for purchase at Amazon.com and most local bookstores. Tune into Channel 3 Buckhannon for Tender Loving Care with Dr. Greenbrier Allman, where he talks about the connection between Christianity and medicine.